People are messed up. I got the days wrong and this video was supposed to come out earlier. But if I'm quick, hopefully it's still the same day. Let's click.
That is the victory, Nikke.
And you might see something in the back there. That was another video I did. The 4th popularity poll is ongoing. Full disclosure, I had originally planned to make a video promoting a certain candidate, and I didn't mean to do this. I saw a glimpse earlier today at the current top 5, and, well, I don't know if they've changed, but let me see. Oh, really? That's what they chose to make a background. I thought there would be music. There's not music here? I thought for sure there'd be some music here. It didn't change. First off, can I just say, people have good taste. They have phenomenal. All 5 were choices that I had. But number 2 was who I was going to make my case for.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Okay.
Nah, I'm sorry. Cinderella, you're not the strongest anymore. You're not the strongest. Liberalio. When I tell you all, I was stunned. Both Cinderella and Siren I expected. I thought there would be top 1 and top 2. And I was honestly worried about how the community saw Liberalio. Let me explain to you all something. When that fateful episode happened in chapter 44, and I saw the queen do what she did to Liberalio, that hurt. I didn't want to record anytime soon. I wanted to give myself a break from the story, all of that. But then I had a thought. This isn't the only gacha game I've played. I've also played a gacha game in Fire Emblem Heroes. And in that gacha game, we managed to vote a villain character who is currently not playable by any means. The main villain of the game, we voted them into the popularity poll. And for Fire Emblem, the top 2 spots got a playable alt. And we succeeded. And now years later, that character appeared in an actual Fire Emblem game. My thought process was, if I got people to vote for Liberalio and she somehow won the poll, that would mean the devs would have no choice but to give us some sort of story to explain whatever Liberalio's new fit would be. And due to her unique nature, there is no time for them to insert a story like that in the current storyline. Like Cinderella and Siren, there is a time after only one appeared where you could easily insert a story to explain an alternate fit. Or just the time that they spent afterwards. But if Liberalio is truly gone, a story like that simply, there wouldn't be time for it. Because we basically met Liberalio for a day and then she left. So my thinking was, because in all honesty, Cinderella and Siren are 2 of my favorite characters. I didn't want to really vote for one of them to win. Not to mention both have a gacha and a normal pass outfit that you could have received. They're good on fits. Like, I have 0 problems with either of them. Liberalio, 1, has nothing, and 2, giving her a valid story for it to even make sense could mean that she comes back and comes back safe. And that's my main thing. Right now, if she does come back, the most likely way would be Red Shoes in some sort of amalgamation, or maybe normal, but just not under her control. Well, Mirror. Sorry, not Red Shoes. Mirror. I don't want that. I want Liberalio free to interact with us, and this might be the only way we can put our hands on the scale. And knowing that a lot of people care for Liberalio like I do, I want to just make this appeal. Because if you're like me, and every single person on this list you care for and wouldn't mind winning, I truly don't mind. Whoever wins, I'm going to be more than happy. But like I said, Liberalios, there's an additional reason that the others don't have. So, that's my pitch. If you are currently stuck on who to vote for, because I do think Cinderella deserves it. If you want my complete honest truth, I favored Cinderella over Rappy on the last poll, but I knew, or at least I felt strongly that the devs, they didn't give Rappy any additional fit by that time. While they gave Cinderella a gotcha. And I felt very strongly that Cinderella would win the next poll. So that's why I was like, I think Rappy should win that one. But Cinderella's my favorite. But at the same time, Cinderella will be back in the story. She has fits that I'm perfectly fine with. I don't need anything else for Cinderella. Same with Siren. So that's why I'm going with Liberalio. That being said, I am curious on the next. Interesting. A niece is still? That makes sense. Alright, so I think I'll make that its own video. Yeah. I just want to ask my people, again, if they're on the fence, vote Liberalio. Confirm. Share. Again, I'm already sharing. And does this have no sound? Actually, I thought about it. It probably would make more sense to keep it all in the same video, to have people discussing thoughts more, because at the end of the day, this is about the poll, and we should see who the other members are. But it's interesting that Liberalio and Siren are equal. Which again, as a man of water, like this literally, let's go to the, oh, that's the popularity hall. Yeah, we need some blue in this, all right? We need some blue or white in this. Well, at least I'm guaranteed to get illustrations of the three of them. But all right, Naita being number 6. From what I'm seeing, because there's a difference between the top, Cinderella. I think Cinderella's pretty much uncontested unless something drastic does change. Unless there's a big push. Liberalio and Siren seem to be equal. Arcana and Snow White also seem to be relatively equal. Obviously, the 2x2 event must have worked, although I'm not noticing Privity near. That's interesting. Seems like there was a favorite in that event. And I think this is the first time Snow White has been this high since the game has started. Well, that's nice. Naita makes sense. It's an interesting position where Naita is. Because for me personally, I currently have a question mark on how to feel about Naita. I really do feel that we need to see Naita in the future for me to know how I should feel. Because her goals do not exactly align with ours and could even lead for harm for one of the people who won the poll, Marion. Honestly speaking, for me personally, Crown and Scarlet, I would put them above Naita. But especially considering what happened in Goddess Fall, like they're currently, MIA. Well, no, Scarlet is. Crown's just damaged, but had a lot of great moments. Though Scarlet's again could be because She has two versions and people are split on which one to vote for. She doesn't have a definite version like Snow White does. That'll come. That'll come. Next. Really? Really? Are they at... Oh. Interesting. Some Arcana's votes are actually on your other version, so if we combine them, you might have been up here. So potentially, people would look at all three of you the same way. Where's the other Snow White votes? Oh, well, yeah, there's your mini you, although it doesn't have many votes. Sheesh. Younger Rapunzel's all the way down here. Dang. Why is Rapunzel so low? Well, it's not a bad spot, I suppose. Like, Laplace is down here. Drake's a little... Dang, below... Well, no, actually, I can't even lie. That makes sense. That makes sense. People understand Nihilist are being high, especially after, if that was truly her end, how that happened. I can understand that. Where's Inherit? Wait. Eleg. Where's... I do not see Eleg's other version on here. Unless I'm missing, like, there's Delta. And you got Milk's other version, EH. Sora's decently high. And I guess he has two privities too. That also counts. I guess they don't have all other characters? Oh, right. They have to give you a character that you can obtain. And the swimsuit versions aren't. You can't get those except until, you know, when the summertime comes. So, this is all your votes. Gotcha. That's not bad. That's not bad. Velvet being this high doesn't surprise me. People are still voting for... I mean, hey, if that's what you want, you can vote for the old Rappy. Though what's very curious to me is two things. Possibly three. Anise is still high. Despite people knowing... Like, that's... See, this is my next thing, right? Anise is winning the next poll. All this time, even without having a strong unit, you were high up. You're gonna win that next poll. Unless something drastically changes with... Well, we'll see. You're a top contender, definitely. Dorothy is still high. Oh, and... Don't get off. I like the helm is this high. And it's interesting to see A this high. I can only wonder on what... Well, no, not wonder. I think it's quite apparent on why that happened. The same event which got Velvet here. Also, Ran is pretty high. But Dorothy managed to still maintain form. That just goes to tell me, even though I see a lot of people upset with Dorothy, she's still one of the favorites. And again, it just is a shame compared to the others, Rapunzel's so low. And Isabel is... Wait, where's Haran? Lower than that. And Noah's lower than Crow. Wait, actually, yeah, who's lower than... Really? Maxwell's lower than Crow. Noah's lower than Crow. Did people just not watch the event? God of Clay? Maury. Really? Dang, Noise. Nah, this is shocking. I know my boy Mitch mentioned he was upset about Kay. Okay, Uni makes sense. Dang. Well, okay, they were just alternate versions, so that makes sense. Even Milks. Emiharas, okay. Well, besides some surprises, in general, I think this list makes sense. Maybe when Rapunzel has an upgraded form, they might put her up high, I don't know. Wait, actually, label. I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing. But the top 5, I am beyond pleased. So, like I said before, if you think your favorite character won't win for one reason or another, or you're wondering who to vote for, because for me it was originally Cinderella or Siren, as I thought they were the main two to win. I hadn't even considered Liberalio a legitimate chance to win. But it was always my goal to continue the Jellyfish propaganda. So, with that being said, people are going to vote for who they're going to vote for, and either way, because it's looking like one of these 3 are going to win. Well, it's looking like Cinderella will win. But nevertheless, I will be happy either way. So, with that being said, please, everyone, post your thoughts about the poll and the current results down in the comments below if you think someone was too high or not high enough. Because we do have a lot more characters now, I have to remember that. And a lot of great ones. This at least lets the devs know that they got some hot commodities with these 5. No, and more, honestly. I think from Scarlet on, they might want to invest in them. Well, and that was never a question, so. With that being said, please everyone, post your thoughts about this down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.